coast to coast, pole to pole, all around the world on the internet. From my little apartment in Memphis, Tennessee. This is Center of Light. Welcome tonight. We're going to get cray-cray. We're going to walk the razor's edge. What is the razor's edge? I have a definition for it. I'll supply that. You can bet I'm always about definitions. But I'm going to try to move inward to define what is the razor's edge for me and me alone. Or walking the thin white line. I've done many white lines. Tonight is Center of Light, walking. And if you're really good at it, moonwalk. Billie Jean. Tonight you're Billie Jean. Walking the razor's edge, synonymous with jumping into the fire. Different teaching, different application. Same courage is necessary. Hello everyone on Facebook. Hello everyone on YouTube. Dana, Kelly, others are going to be coming in soon. If you are on Facebook, please share this everywhere you can. Center of Light tonight, sponsored by Lavender Soul Music. During the breaks, my new bestseller, Homecoming Across the Bridge to the Soul, as well as my children's book series, Eden Sky Wonders Why. You can find all of this here in this forum. You can say, Keith, I'm interested in some of your books or your music. I will supply that. I am beginning soon after taxes. Gonna start a new album. I need to buy some gear. I got really good gear. I use top of the line stuff. Why? Because I've learned to walk the razor's edge. Walking that edge, you will cut your feet. Bitter is sweet. If you let it, it can be a treat for you. A retreat. Everyone needs a good spiritual sojourn or pilgrimage or a retreat. And when we do surrender, what happens in war, when we battle everything, not only in the outside world as in war, but when we war with ourselves, when we surrender, we go to a retreat. Or in war, when you surrender, you retreat. You throw up the white flag. I surrender. But walking the razor's edge, first and foremost, it requires bravery, courage, the willingness not to care what anyone thinks. That is really where the courage, that is the razor's edge, is it not? Is not, I'm asking. You can agree, disagree, or say, well, I understand that, but I have my own. Great. I personally think it's applicable to many, more so than half. The razor's edge, at least for this presentation moment, is not worrying what people think and walking the razor's edge. So it's a double entendre. One of the biggest diseases humanity has is worrying what other people think. The razor's edge will cut your foot and you will bleed. Many years ago, written about in the second part of this series, soon to be in the future, however long it's gonna be. At the end of the book, Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, I revisit what it was like to be me. Heartbroken, dark night of the soul. And I asked myself a question. And that question was, the razor's edge. It's the edge of all sanity. Sanity? What is Keith willing to do to have peace? What is the most vile, disgusting thing that I'm going to elevate as a challenge, as my willingness, a reflection of my willingness to have peace at all costs? And what came to mind, palate, taste, was eating dog shit. Seriously. Eating dog shit. So I had to weigh myself out. I had to weigh out my possibilities. Is it worth me eating dog shit, walking the razor's edge, to gain something, which is myself, where I sit at this vantage point? And the answer is, how many piles do you need me to engulf? Analogously, it is what is required. Ish kind of idea. Nonetheless, the bites you take out of life is very real. And it's going to take your zeal to make those things unappealing simply appeal, and your willingness to walk the razor's edge. You will cut your feet. Does that really matter? Dog shit to where I can be if I do so. Idea. Funny. Very powerful. And the law we all must follow to be successful in walking the edge of the razor. Yes, pretty much basic for all of us. To not give a flying flip about what anyone else thinks. That can be tough. If there was a spiritual principle that most of humanity could work on, at least so they can elevate at least some, if not probably monumental, was to not wear what people think. And I don't mean, I ain't wearing what you think. I mean, bro, sis, I love you. This is not your call. It's mine. Why is this thing so alive in me that you have such a problem with? I must end the game. I must play the game to the end, even at my own detriment, because even so, you will always win. Because why is the drive pressing so hard inside that you, dear one, must carry out this said thing, whatever it may be? You see, you have been right all along. And right along, when you right yourself and you move in the river, the music you hear will be a beautiful song. It's your theme song. You know exactly what you want to do, who you want to do it with, for however long you want to do it with them, and it's not anybody else's business. Or you have a passion in life, and it's not anybody else's business. Because what people think of you is none of your business, or is it? That's drama. That's being a drama llama instead of a Dalai Lama. Walking the razor's edge, it is scary. Hello, Serene. What would you do when no one is looking, if you can get away with it? Not meaning you can fool the universe, meaning get away with it in your own level of conscience of how you actually used everything else as an excuse to go away so I can do this said thing when nobody's looking. What would that be for you? You don't have to answer me. You need to answer yourself. What would that be? Why are you procrastinating? Are you procrastinating? Are you doing it? And to what level? Well, Keith, I am doing it. Fantastic. Right, wrong, in, out, up, down, hot, cold. I am not condoning nor supporting, here's my disclaimer, you to go out and do something stupid. That's up to you. of what is stupid and what is important and vital. So that all gets lost in the hoopla. But are you walking the razor edge of your life? Speaking of razor's edge, I need a razor's edge. Are you challenging yourself? Does your salvation lie on the razor's edge? I made a meme last night after watching a replay of my presentation from last night. I always watch my work back so I can learn on levels I don't even know I'm learning. I love learning. But I made a meme last night about razor's edge, which was the inspiration that brought me here to do this presentation. Ironic is the overtitle. Ironic. In walking the razor's edge is where everything smooths out. Walking the razor's edge is where everything smooths out. Though you will split your foot open and you will bleed. But blood is wet, and you can bet it will help you to glide further. Initially, you will cut your foot. Initially, you will callous. Initially, you're going to have to drum up the courage and the bravery to get out of the slavery. And I think the path for every spiritual aspirant, regardless of your walk, talk, creed, code, or sect, is you're going to have to get a step in on the edge. Nothing happens until you walk into the edge. The universe. The universe. The question is, what lies beyond the outermost edge of the universe? What lies beyond the outermost edge of the universe of your mentality, your physicality? What lies beyond that? That is the razor's edge. That's where you should be walking, could be walking, if you chose to. Do you want to quit your job? Maybe you should quit your job and pursue that thing. Be smart. Practicality does have a purpose. Family is the utmost, absolute purpose. Provision, providing, provided that you understand exactly what you are doing for everyone's benefit. Tonight is center of light walking. If you're so good at it, then you can moonwalk. You have to leave the earth. You have to go celestial. You have to go cosmic. You have to go planetary, solar, stellar, divine. Walking the razor's edge. Tonight is more about not necessarily just jumping into the fire, which it is, but it's truly imagining what it would be like to walk with a razor blade under your feet and be willing to bleed. And then you see the book on your right-hand side, which is Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. It's the same place. It's the same blade, same razor. And it will cut. It will cut the intellect until the intellect learns how to cut when it's focused on what it truly desires from a space of absolute clarity. You better get to eating dog poop or walking on that blade. If there's more joy you are seeking, what's holding you back? Honestly, I don't want for anything. This is not a bragging point for me. It's a support point for you. I don't want for anything. I like things. I got some things I want. Like that new recording gear that's coming in so I can make an album. But I don't want. Have you ever noticed that the things you want, like the things we really, really want, when we're so in our human, beautiful self, I want this thing, and it's so hard to get. But the things that you don't care that you have, like this particular glass or sofa, they simply are provided gracefully. You have all those things. But the things you really, really want, it's hard to get. Why is that? That glass that you have that you don't care that you have, that coffee mug, someone, somewhere is wanting a vessel to have a sip of water. And they're willing and ready, capable, no matter what it takes, to walk that razor's edge, to walk 1,000 years, if that's what it takes, to get that sip of water. So the question simply becomes, son or daughter, are you willing to step into the fire? Are you willing and ready to walk over hot coals, to cut your feet, to eat dog poop? And I don't mean to gain stuff. That's cool too. There's no sacrilege in wanting stuff. It's part of the human dance and what we deserve. But if you want something with a little more meaning, something a little more deeper, you have to walk. It's going to cut. And you're going to bleed. Your bleeding sacred heart as we follow the principle of the Christ himself. Talk about the razor's edge. Wow. Center of light tonight is center of light walking the razor's edge. What is it? It's sharp. It will cut everything you think is real completely down. It's so sharp. But in so doing, it will sharpen your intellect yourself. There's nothing more sharp than an enlightened, powerful, understanding, balanced, and discernment intellect. There's nothing sharper than that. Hello, Gordon Ramsay with your brand new kitchenware. Gonna be right back. Song for tonight. I do have, of course, a video from Shunyamurti. I did do some research on Shunyamurti. We can, whoever the we choose to be, go to Costa Rica, where his ashram is, for a week, for an extensive workshop. I think it's like $1,400, add flight, $16, whatever. You willing to walk the razor's edge? I am. He speaks to me. Beyond hearing, I listen. And all of a sudden, there's a clearing in my consciousness and in my conscience. And it makes me want to even more eat that dog poop or walk the razor's edge. Do those things that people say you better not, you can't, you should, or you shouldn't. One of the biggest lessons in humanity, as far as personal, internal, negative, ongoing, monkey-minded, dialogue, is what other people think of me. I understand respect. I understand integrity. I'm speaking about what people think of me. I don't give a squat. Don't give a squat either, but care. Present yourself lovingly and with care to say, bro, I just don't care what you think. So, can I buy you that beer? I'll see you shortly. Come back. Some Shunyamurti is going to enlighten me. So I'm going to ask the question when I walk this razor's edge. Lavender Soul, my spiritual band. We have 3 albums out. I am selling all 3 albums for $20 when I was selling them $20 per. I have thousands. $20, pay the shipping. Boop. A whole library of powerful music. You will hear that in this one song I wrote in about 20 minutes, halfway through. I knew I wanted an empty space, but I didn't know what to put in that. And at that time, my son was 6 months old, and he started going, and I was like, oh my God, this one needs to go in the middle of that empty space. So I ran upstairs, booted my computer, opened up my studio software, and kept him agitated so he can keep crying. Selfish bastard of me, I know. And I just pressed record. I did not alter the track. What am I looking for? That is the point of walking the razor's edge. not knowing why you're willing to cut your feet and bleed like this. Being your own self-acclaimed spiritual monk. The razor's edge. What in the am I looking for?
Inside. What am I hoping for? A better world, is there a cure? What can I do to help the score? I'm at a loss, I'm just not sure. What am I praying for? To see the light around the world and the people's love restored. Peace on earth, of this I'm sure. Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside?
Hello, all you sexy human creatures. Welcome to Center of Light. Right off the get-go, share this to you all. It may reach someone who is reaching for the golden ring just like you. What is the golden ring? It's not what you think. It is what you want. It may come through the guise of what you think it is. Instead of going for the superficial aspect of it, when you move to the deeper layer, that which is meaningful, the real reason, it becomes the season of your harvest. I want you to be a joyful, sexy, beautiful human being. You owe me nothing. Gina says, it's cool, Keith. You demand. We're going to get real. It's yours for the taking. We're all looking for bliss. Burst of light. I'm going to empower you. I'm going to get down to some beeswax, cosmic broham, oink, to say I love you. Flagship Mother Earth, this way. Inward is upward, and that is forward. Powerful. Any thought that you have that is not of the highest ideal contains self-sabotage. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. I'm holding on because I'm scared to death of the changes that are happening in the world, the changes that are happening within me, but I'm living in the old world paradigm and I'm going nowhere. I'm bored out of my skull. That's called insanity. I'm already feeling it coming to every fiber of my being, though I have no idea about the future timeline of where this is going because I don't care. I just know that I am living in that joy in this moment. This way. In is the way out, where you are in your being, your experience. If you want joy, ecstasy, and peace beyond you've ever had in your being, because when you're inward, you don't need anything. And therefore, you have everything. Why would you believe anything when you can know everything? So now we went from this very tiny, minute little possibility of self to an explosion of infinite possibility in God. Metaphor for up. We always know God to be up. When we have these connections with spirit, then our life moves forward. Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light walking the razor's edge. That last little crazy video I did, that's exactly what it is. That's walking the razor's edge. I am not asking you to do any of the following that I'm going to offer as models, as a teaching tool, simply for self-to-self reflection. Shortly, I'm going to play a video from Shunyamurti. Walking the razor's edge. Do you want a divorce? I'm not saying you should. I'm not asking you to go do that. Is that something you have been stewing about? Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to sell your business because everything is the same? You're not walking on the edge. You're not happy. You know why people drive down, at least in Memphis, the expressway at 8 in the morning like absolute lunatics, and at 5 o'clock like absolute lunatics? Because they're going to a job, literally the word job, work, that they loathe and hate, and they sleep into the last possible moment because they can't stand where they go. And now they have to go, and they get on the expressway and they drive like a lunatic. Same on the opposite. On the way home, they punch out. They can't wait to get back to the house. They're living on the edge, you can bet. They're living on the edge of traffic and safety, and they put everybody else in harm's way. Likewise, when we don't do what we want, whatever the expense, there's always a sacrifice. Dog shit, spiritual peace. Is there any more piles anywhere else? I'm willing. I'm ready. You want to go on a trip. You've been putting it off because you're worried what the spouse might think. And you want to do it alone. You want to go on a pilgrimage. You don't have to explain nor tell anyone where you are going. So let's get into the respectful aspect of it. So at least tell them, maybe to alleviate some worry, because you do care about how they feel. I'm going out of town. I'm going out of country. When I get settled, I will send you a message to let you know where I'm at. Don't check in on me. I know how to find you. I'm doing this for me. I'm walking the razor's edge. I'm going into the cave of Samadhi. I want what I want, and I won't ever stop wanting it until I get what I want. And what I want is to walk this very fine line between what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is holy and blasphemous. Because your greatest growth happens in the healing of wounds. So go cut your foot on the edge of the razor. Metaphorical. That it requires you to be laser focused on something that is so important to you. Let me tell you how important to you it is. Take 15 whatever seconds. Think of something that you want to do, that you're going to do in this life, which you can make it happen now, or however many lives it's going to take. You are going to do this thing, and you have no choice about it. You have no choice in the matter about it. You just don't. So why not do it now? Regardless of what people think, on any level, what this means, I'm going to do this thing, because for everybody it's different. But what is common, the common denominators, I'm worried what others think if I choose to do this thing. Maybe they don't give a squat about it at all. Maybe it's all a concoction in your own head. Maybe they will care. Maybe they won't per se care. Maybe they will be upset, and they will try to sling mud at you and call you the bad person, called gaslighting, because they don't want to look at themselves. That's not your business. Your business is you. 9 to 5, in the grind of it all, is where you will find it all. So think about what that is. What would I do if I release myself from self-induced bondage? What's up, Joe Day? Lee Whitus? You are a funny girl. What would you do? Truly. It opens up the gate very wide. Well, Keith, I'm not really worried what people think. I care to differ. How do I know that? Because I know myself. What would you do if you didn't have to answer to anyone? Give any explanation. That one thing, no matter how wild and crazy it is. One of my hashtags for tonight's presentation is, are you crazy? That's the question. Are you crazy? I'm not asking you to be unconscious and stupid. I'm using the word crazy as a tone, as a timbre, as a model of, likened to the word fool. Jesus, Einstein, Tesla, Benjamin Franklin, these people were fools. I know Jody don't. She don't give a shit. I love it. She's always on the razor's edge, but she's so good at walking it. Her feet are calloused, and I don't mean calloused as in hard and I'm just a calloused, wounded person. No, calluses do have a protective purpose. I've done this so many times. I have a protection, a layer of buffer between me and that which can be tougher and rougher or gruffer. What is it you want to do? Well, I can't do it now, at least in this life. Fantastic. It's all up to you. It's coming back around. Don't worry. You don't have to search it out. It's going to find you. It's just going to remind you about that thing that you forgot about. And the reason you're going to repeat that lesson is because in your passing, you let your body expire with regret. You can bet It's coming back around. So you can at least rest your mind. Put your mind at ease. Well, it will find you. It will be the disposition, the demeanor of your next experience. And it will get clearer, or it will get meaner until you have adherence to its appearance. You know exactly what it looks like. These shapes and models may look like a person. It may look like a situation. It may look like a this or a that or the other. And all of that is really not necessary. The drive in you is real. It's looking for completion. It's looking for a mate, if you will. Don't be late for this date. 26,000 years for the next cycle, my dears. And all your love and all your blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. It loves you so much, it will come back around to kiss you on your beautiful, sexy, human, divine face. It's going to say, remember me? Shunyamurti, walking the razor's edge tonight, center of light. This is called we must perceive the paradox of the real. That's walking the razor's edge. I'm going to grab this credit. Shunyamurti deserves it. Also, before I give you Shunyamurti, I want to read to you what the meaning is of the razor's edge, used in various phrases to refer to a dangerous. We love danger, don't we? Well, Keith, yes, you do. Look around you. Used in various phrases to refer to a dangerous position or a position in which two different things are carefully balanced. The razor's edge. The edge is only one edge, but it implies immediately what lies beyond the edge. Well, I'm walking in center of the edge, that which cuts. The intellect will cut when we understand fully, logically, discernment-wise, clear thinking, right thinking, balanced thinking. That I am the one in the center riding the razor's edge as I play with these two possibilities. I'm not even going to say good, bad, right, wrong, hot, cold, left, right, and out. That's not what riding the razor's edge is. Riding the razor's edge means I am the master of my own destiny. That is when you will become sharp as a razor. He's a thrill seeker who likes living on the razor's edge. The country's future is balanced on a razor's edge. Bruh, I did not read this before I dropped it onto this page, and how important and on point is this? The meaning of razor's edge. The country's future is balanced on a razor's edge. He walks the razor's edge between humor and bad taste in his comedy. Hello, Wendy. This is a divine comedy. And in order to be the comedian or comedian, you're going to have to walk the razor's edge. I don't know anyone who goes to a comedy show expecting to hear the same jokes. All comedians are pushing the limits. They're walking the edge. They're pushing the edge of the boundary. And what happens as a result of a comedian or comedian when they push the boundaries? Everyone in the audience begins to laugh, chuckle, and or guffaw. That's called enlightenment. Aha, I get your joke, your conundrum, your riddle. The divine comedy that's being played on all of us. I get it. It's jovial. It makes you laugh. It makes you chuckle. Don't get lost in the bullshit. I was going to say something and I'm going to stew on it while you listen to Shunyamurti. I am so done with people causing vexation, unconsciousness. I don't want to call someone out. I want to make it publicly known. A particular social media site, I loved it until recently it was made known to me the childish behavior of $78,300 subscribers. Their hashtags are holistic, New Earth, Guru and False Prophets Part 2. That had 9,206 views on February 6, 2020, 903 thumbs up, 27 thumbs down. I don't like doing this, but I will. It's misinformation, and it's guiding people into unconsciousness. Basically, this YouTube site are using numbers. I get it. It's entertainment. If you see it for entertainment value and that alone, cool, fantastic, do your thing. If you go in there for spiritual sustenance, you're going to eat thorns. You want to know what it is? I'll send you a personal inbox message. They're using numbers to define avatars. Sai Baba, Mother Mira, Sadhguru, this one, that one, and they're using this as a buffer to justify their own unconscious blame, shame, and gain. I was appalled. I was like, are you serious? Isolating by number, frequency, that said Avatar is a thief, a manipulator, a pervert, a this, a that, and the other. I was like, wow, are you serious? And everybody's jumping on board. They're salivating, drooling at the mouth for this spiritual, low vibrational nonsense. I almost want to call it out, and I should. I'm a light worker. It's not to squash someone, it's to squash bullshit. Ridiculous. Shunyamurti. Paradox. Understand paradox. When you understand paradox, you're on the edge of the razor, and you will bleed. Your heart will bleed for those who are not walking there with you, bleeding beside you. But you will bleed because you're the brave one, the courageous one, taking the leap of faith, jumping into the fire. Shunyamurti. Wow. I'll see you shortly.
From the perspective of human logic and language, the self is total paradox. And once the self is realized, then everything is recognized as being paradoxical. But the self is the source of paradox and the reason why paradox rules over Aristotelian logic. And therefore why anything is possible. Self, because of its paradoxical nature, is indescribable. It is both absence and presence. It cannot be determined as either one. It is both, it is neither. And the paradoxes of reality extend to the ethical plane, because from the perspective of the self, good is evil and evil is good. From the perspective of the absolute, there is only good, And this is why even what we take as being evil always leads to good in the long run. But what leads to good is good. But since the good also leads to evil, then we cannot say that the good that appears in the world is truly good. Only the absolute that is beyond good and evil has that quality that is beyond paradox. And only that realization of the self beyond duality dissolves the confusion that paradox creates for the linear mind. In the silence, in which naked awareness is both present and absent, in which the absence of any substantial self enables one to recognize that which is beyond substance, that which is beyond form, name, or locality, that which cannot be characterized or categorized in any terms of logic and cannot be determined. That nature of the self also results in indeterminacy in relation to the world. And it is the capacity to harness indeterminacy and paradox which produces magic. It is this siddhi of the capacity to use the paradoxical nature of the self, to deploy it in the service of God through that emanation of energy that cannot be determined, that produces events of a magical nature which cannot be described as either hallucinations or visions or realizations of higher truth and interdimensional beings and realities. Once the portal beyond the logical mind and its limitations of belief and of expectation of possibility are removed, then all of that which is possible to the mind in dream becomes realizable in the phenomenal plane. Because this plane is also constituted as a dream field. It is when we understand and have mastery over the field of the dream that is the cosmos that we will be able to determine through the indeterminacy of cause and effect, but through the power of the love of the Supreme Intelligence, to bring about a destiny that seems to be impossible, but is paradoxically related to that which is currently referred to as science. But a science of consciousness that transcends the dualistic logic of yes or no, true or false, enables the world to become in its very nature an emanation of that magical power that is the quality of the supreme reality in its revealed form. The revelation is the revelation of the miraculous. And the disappearance of that which is pedestrian, that which pertains to a flat land that never was, that which pertains to the world that the ego believes in, with all of its limitations of possibility, with all of its lack of creative intelligence, with all of its boredom surrounding those paranormal levels of reality that cannot be proven. It is the willingness to investigate the miraculous, which is the nature of the self, that is the specific function of Sat Yoga. But the beginning of this investigation cannot take place until there has been the recognition of one's own paradoxical nature. As both invisible and yet present. Both human and divine. As that intelligence that never appears but reveals all. It is the entry into the dimension of the miraculous that is the gift of grace. That can occur only once the ego's form, which is the final obstacle, is dissolved, annihilated. And unmourned forever. In other words, there is no looking back. There is no falling back. There is no sense of an I thought that reappears. The emptiness is complete. And the emptiness in its completeness is filled with power, with bliss, with love, with light, but with the power to perform the miraculous. And it is in this time of system failure that is not only a product of negligence and stupidity, but of malignancy in the phenomenal plane in the form of cyber warfare, in the form of the destruction of electric grids and the internet and systems of financial conduct of commerce, and all of the various systems such as nuclear reactors and launch systems of ballistic missiles that are being sabotaged by demonic forces. But as it becomes ever more clear to those who are awakened in the world that the demonic forces have gained complete hegemony, complete control over all of the systems, there is also understanding of why it is inevitable that those systems must fail and why the demonic must lose. But it can only lose once there has appeared the supreme power of God consciousness, which is the only power that can triumph over these demonic forces.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light walking. When you're really good, you can moonwalk. Michael Jackson was a king. To be a king, we need to learn how to moonwalk. What Shunyamurti and what I had been taught, it just dawned upon me, is what we're speaking about is the world that suddenly appears through the silence. It's the world Jesus spoke about. The kingdom is here. It's within. That's what it is. It's you. It's me. Are you basically walking the razor's edge? It's beyond the right and the wrong, the good, the bad, the hot, the cold, and all that stuff. It's not about any of that. Let me refresh my YouTube. Either way. There we go. So that's it. It's the new world. See, the new world is not out here. The new world is you. It's this. The time and the buffer of time served as a benefit. But there is no more time. There is no more benefit to time. It's time that we use the benefits we have been given from past incarnations as Jesus, the master teacher, as Buddha, a master teacher, so forth and so on. Suddenly through the silence, a new world appears. This is it. Walking the razor's edge. Should have get off the pot. Leave your religion because it doesn't feel right. But I'm worried what my family thinks. Oh, I understand. And you're blessed beyond measure because you care about other people's feelings. But you can never serve other people's feelings till you serve your own first. You selfish spiritual being, as you should be, because this is all about you. When you make it about you in such a beautiful, powerful way, that it's the unfoldment of the best you, then inclusive it is to everyone with you. There is no other way. You can write someone a $1,000 check. That check will bounce all day long until you have the funds or you have fun with your own life, in your own life. There's no way to not be selfish. Walk that razor's edge, you selfish creature. See, because ultimately it's not about being selfish. It's about being self-full. Self-full. I'm self-full. How does that serve everybody else, though, when I'm that way? You show them the way, how they can be the same as you. And one day, as you, they will be. This is how we change the world, one person at a time. And we walk the razor's edge. Like I said a few times earlier, one of the main conundrums or diseases of the human psychology is worried and wondering what people think. I'm wondering if I'm doing something. That's cool. I'm concerned. I'm worried what people think. That's cool too, but it's not so cool for you. You will lose every time. Either way, check this out. Either way, you are still walking the razor's edge. The difference and the advantage of those who walk the razor's edge consciously is they get conscious calluses. Eventually, they don't bleed or get cut anymore because they've created a buffer by walking the razor's edge consciously. But for those who do it unconscious, every time you step onto the platform, you just simply bleed all over the place. Your bleeding heart, the world's smallest violin, you will always bleed. Step up, you get on the, what do you call that? The balance beam in Olympics, become a champion. But you're gonna have to be brave. You wanna leave a relationship. You know that's what you gotta do. I'm not saying you should do it, but you know that you need to or not need to, or when you exactly need to do it. You need to leave your job. You know all that as well. I need to change my religion if I want a religion at all. You know that as well. You need to go on a you want to go on a pilgrimage, and you don't want to tell anybody. That's part of your liberation. I don't want to have to tell anybody or explain to them where I'm going. I just maybe out of courtesy need to say, I'm going away for a while, so don't send the police because I'm not missing and I'm not dead in the woods somewhere. I'll let you know where I'm at when I feel it's appropriate, if I feel it's appropriate. And when you get back, guess what they're going to say? Where did you go? And you got pictures to prove it. And you go, I went to Indonesia because I heard there was a wonderful whatever there. And they're going, oh my God, I wish I had the courage to do the same thing. And you would say, what are you waiting for? Here's a pile of dog shit. Eat it. Watch what happens when you do. Here's the razor's edge. Walk it. Watch what happens when you do. Here's the fire. Jump directly into it. Watch. Feel. Be. What happens when you do it. Tonight has been, still is, for the moment, center of light walking. The razor's edge. What is the razor's edge? That which you want to do, but is scared to death to do it. Regardless, between now and eternity, you will be stepping on that blade. Do it now. Get that bed made and get it laid. It's what you've prayed for a long time. Now it's up to you to take the step. Your love beyond measure. I'll see you soon. Thursday, Corona. Today is Monday. Tomorrow night on Central of Light Radio, I'm going to be interviewing someone. He goes by the name of Wild Trees for incognito purposes. I understand. We're going to be speaking about science and paranormal. He's very well learned, very intelligent. I look forward to spending time with Wild Trees. Your love beyond measure. Walk the razor's edge. You know how far you can push it, and then push it some more. At your pace. In your space. You will find that grace. I love you. Boom.